Hello everyone, welcome to class. I am sorry that I'm not here today. However, I am at a conference today and tomorrow, as I discussed with you guys yesterday. So I figured this would be the most efficient way for us to stay on track, to not get sidetracked, just to record. So just pretend like it's me standing here in front of the class and just go along with us the best we can. So the first thing that we're going to do, just like always, is our do now. So your do now is sitting right behind the projector. Matthew put it there, behind the projector. It looks like this. It's your multiplication sheet for your sixes. So we're going to go ahead. Yesterday I gave you 6 minutes to do this. Today I'm going to give you 5 minutes to try to get as many done as you can. But before we do, what's 6 times 7? 42. What's 6 times 8? 48. And what's 6 times 9? 54. One more time. 6 times 7, 6 times 8, 6 times 9. Okay, good job. I think you guys are ready. So we'll do 5 minutes. If I could get Gabby or Shanisha or Candelara or somebody sitting near the laptop just to hit that pause button, that would be great. Hit the pause button. And Gerald, if you want to time the class for 5 minutes, if you have your watch on or somebody else has a watch on, give yourself 5 minutes, give or take a little bit, and I'm gonna hit pause and we'll get started again. After you're done, hit play and we'll go on with the lesson. Okay, so how'd you do with your sixes? Let's look across the top. Ready? 6 times 9, 54. 6 times 2, 12. 6 times 3, 18. 6 times 8, 48. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 1 is 6. Good job. Let's go down to the next row. Before we go down to the next row, actually circle anyone that you got wrong. Study it tonight. Next row, 6 times 4, 24. 6 times 8, 48. 6 times 7, 42. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 9, 54. 6 times 7, 42. Circle any you got wrong. Next row, 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42. Next row, 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 9 is 54, 6 times 3 is 18, 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 6 is 36. Doing that first half, we've covered all of the sixes, so if you got any wrong that you need to study tonight, please make sure you write them down. You can write them 10 times each, you can practice them out loud, you can do whatever you need to do, but you have to get these sixes memorized. I hope that you did better than you did yesterday. The goal is each day to increase how many you're getting right as we're studying those sixes in class every day. Yesterday we focused a lot on 6 times 7 is 42. I hope everyone remembered that on the test today. Today I'm going to focus a lot on 6 times 8 is 48. Hopefully we can get that in our brains today too. So study this, compare it to how you did yesterday. I'm hoping that you did better than you did yesterday. Okay, stick that in your folder. The next thing I want you to get out is your worksheet. It looks like this. It's also by the projector. Looks like this. It's just a copy of what I have up here on the board. It's your notes. Again, it's not anything that you have to stress over. It's just notes so that when you're studying for your test, you have something to refer back to. So today we're going to start a new topic, something we're going to move on past long division. You guys did amazing with that. Today we're going to work on story problems and word problems. That's something that a lot of people get stressed out about. You know, I know that everybody remembers the old, if train A leaves the station at 11:35 and train B leaves the other station at 9:35, there's those word problems that you just hear, and you just start to think, oh, I don't even know, I can't figure that out. Well, we're going to break it down today, just like we always do, and we're going to talk about some ways to be successful in story problems. I realize that you might not be able to see the sheet really well from the computer, but that's why you have it, a hard copy that you can follow along with. So you already did your do now. The objective today is I can solve single-step word problems. So look at this chart. The purpose of this chart is to help you when you're reading word problems to be able to identify what it is we're looking for. So let's look at this chart a little bit. If you're reading a word problem and you see things like how much is it increased by, or how many more, or is this more than, maybe combined or all together. So if the story says combined, how many phones does the family have, or all together, how much money did they make? Total of, if it asks what's the total of, the sum always means addition and added to always means addition. So all of those things are key words in a story problem that most of the time it's going to tell you to add. So this is an important reference for you to keep. I'm going to have it again on your handout tomorrow, but this is a great reference for you to look back on. So again, for addition, you're going to see things like increased by, more than, combined, together, total, sum of, and added to. Those are your keywords that tell you to add. In the next box we have our subtraction keywords. So when you're doing a word problem, if you see something like decreased by, minus or less, difference between, less than, or fewer than, those are all keywords for you to remember to subtract. Think about the story problems that we've had before. How many fewer pounds does that truck weigh than this truck? Or what is the difference between the amount of people born in 1972 to 1984? So think about that. You would obviously have to subtract to find out the difference. The next box says multiplication. So when you see these words in a word problem, they're your key to multiply. So words like of, times, multiplied by obviously, the product of, increased by or decreased by, a factor of, all of those words can help you to know when I see that I'm going to have to multiply. Usually when you're doing word problems, when it has to do with like months of the year, if it said, you know, this costs this much each month, how much would it cost for a whole year? You're going to have to think about, well, how many months are in a year? 12, oh, I have to multiply by that. Or if you're talking about gallons of gas and you have a 10-gallon tank, I don't even know if that's a real gallon, I have no clue how much my car holds, times, you know, $4 a gallon, you're going to have to think, well, how many gallons, I have to multiply that. So it's usually when they want you to add several things, if you can do it quicker by multiplying, then these are your keywords. For division, if a word problem wants you to divide, think about words like per, out of, ratio, or percent. And when it's a percent, usually it's divided by 100. And then equals, so in the story problem it'll say how much does that equal, it will say how much will it be, how much is it sold for. So that's pretty obvious. Usually when you're given a word problem, you know that you have to figure out what it equals, but these are just some keywords for you. So that's the first part of solving a word problem. The most important part, really all a word problem is a math problem. You're just pulling out the math and putting it into a math problem, which you guys are all really good at. I've seen you guys do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This is just more math. It's everything you already know how to do. It's just pulling out the right information. You guys all are very smart people, and I know that this is going to be really easy for you. Okay, so this is our key. Feel free to refer back to that anytime you need to. Excuse me. It's awkward. Okay, so let's do this. The first thing that we need to do when we do a story problem is we need to start by discussing or dissecting the problem to figure out what information we actually need to solve the question. Then we need to decide what type of math is this. So I've got the information that I need. Would it make sense to multiply or should I subtract? What are those key words? You need to look back at those key words and then set up your problem and solve it. So let's try to see if we can do that with this first math problem. It says Mitch is starting a new lawn business. He went to Home Depot to purchase the items he needs. The lawnmower he likes is $1,489. He also needs a weed eater. So he picks one out for $167.89. Before he leaves the store, he decides to purchase a leaf blower for